Hello everyone and welcome back to So Aldo DIY. In today's video, I am going to show you how I made this beautiful dress. Let me move over here. If you want to see how I made this dress, then stay tuned.
First thing I did was pre-shrink the fabric and then press it. Next, I am going to use my self-drafted bodice patterns. And here I kind of altered the neckline a little bit because I want it a little wider. Then I trace the pattern. I also place the pattern half an inch away from the fold because I made these sewing patterns a few years ago and your girl here kind of gained weight a little bit, but that is okay. That is part of life, and eating delicious food is just so irresistible. Then I will do the same thing to the back bodice, and I'm also going to add about 2 inches at the back for the zipper. If you want to create your own bodice blocks, I have a tutorial on how to make it. I also have a tutorial on how to measure yourself properly. Once you created your own bodice blocks, you are going to be creating a lot of beautiful garments using just these simple patterns. I have been using this for years and yeah, it's just nice to have. Here are all the pieces that I will need. So I have a half circle skirt. I also have a tutorial on how to make this. I'm going to leave it in the description box below or here in the info bar. I will also add lining to this. I forgot to show you the skirt lining, so I have 4 pieces in total. Now I'm just going to transfer the darts on the fabrics or the shell fabric and the lining. It's time to close the darts. I started on the wide part and then going down. I repeated the same thing to the rest of the darts. By the way, I am using a different fabric. I found this at the quilting section. I absolutely love the print and I couldn't resist it. So I decided to make a dress out of it. I actually asked my Facebook followers first if I can use this type of material that you will use for quilting to create garments. And a lot of them said yes, you just have to wash it and press. And now I feel like I am unstoppable because I'm already planning my next trip to the fabric store because the quilting section has the most scrumptious fabric ever. They have the most beautiful prints. So yeah, I'm just so happy that this works and I think I'm gonna be like obsessed. Anyway, it's time to join the lining to the shell fabric. I match it at the neckline, right sides of the fabrics are facing. Then I'm just going to sew it from this end to the other side. It should match perfectly because hey, it came from the same pattern. For the lining, I use an old bed sheet that I don't use anymore, so this is a great way to recycle. Next, I am going to grade the seam allowance along the neckline because it is on a curve. You want to be able to turn the fabric correct side out and the lining is going to sit nicely. Then I'm going to flip it over and understitch the lining. So basically, I am stitching the lining onto itself. You can also press it before you stitch it or understitch it, but I was actually doing live stream on Facebook, so I wasn't able to do that. By the way, this fabric is so easy to work with And if you are a beginner, I suggest that you work with cotton fabric. They are just super dreamy and so easy, you will not get frustrated. Now I will sew the skirt on the main fabric. I match it at the waistline. Right sides of the fabric are facing. Then stitch along from this end to the other, and I will repeat the same thing to the lining. Earlier, I said I was live streaming on Facebook. Actually, I was live streaming on TikTok, working on the bodice and the skirt. Then I live stream on Facebook, working on the sleeves. So this part here, I was live streaming. So now I am going to stitch a gathering stitch at the shoulder. I also serge all the raw edges so it is nice and ready. Next, it's time to sew up the inseam. Right sides of the fabrics are facing. If you notice, I always say that because if you are a beginner, it can get confusing. So you always want to match the right sides of the fabrics together. Even though it sounded silly, there is a moment in time that you are going to sew it the wrong way. Because I have done it so many times and I'm not even a beginner. Now I set in the sleeve inside the armhole or the arm side, and then I am going to gather the sleeve to fit the arm side. And I'm going to concentrate the gathers on the shoulders. Alright? So once I am satisfied, I am going to clip it in place or pin it in place. Then stitch it all the way around. Then I will repeat the exact same thing to the other sleeve. After this, I tried on the dress just to make sure I liked the length of the sleeve, which I did not like it, so I trim it down by 1 inch. Now it's time to hem the sleeve, so I serge it first, then fold it by 1/2 inch. I left an opening for the elastic to go through. After that, I feed the elastic through and close the ends and close the drive. I repeated the same steps to the other sleeve. Next, it's time to attach the zipper. I pulled out the lining. Then I'm going to mark my seam allowances, which is 1 inch. If you want to, you can draw a straight line across. Especially if you are a beginner, it's so much easier to line up the zipper teeth against the seam allowance. Then I mark the top edge of the zipper, which is 3/8 of an inch. Then I also mark the zipper where the seams are going to be. So later when I pin it on the fabric, it's just a matter of matching it up. I also figure out how long I want the zipper to be, so I marked it right here. And I did the same thing on the zipper. I have to mention that before you do this, make sure you press the zipper in a low heat. It will simply open up the coil a little bit, so when you're sewing, it's going to be so much easier. I place the zipper right sides of the fabrics are facing, and pay attention to where I place the zipper. As you can see, the left side of the zipper is placed on the right side of the fabric. Then I am going to pin it in place. This part right here is tricky, but you are going to simply pick this up, put it on the right side, and turn it one more time. So basically like a mirror image, or the zipper opens up like a book. And as you can see, it was so much easier because I mark all the seams. Now it's just a matter of matching it up, and you will know that the zipper is going to be perfectly aligned once it is sewn. And don't forget to test the zipper. So here I close it and nothing is twisted and I'm good to go. I will use an invisible zipper foot. These are very affordable. I got this in a set like long time ago, and this is one of my favorite presser foot. Makes the zipper installation super easy and it looks professional. And as you can see here, I am sewing down the zipper and I am making sure that the coil is standing up, or the zipper teeth. That way you will not see any zipper tape picking out at the back, so it's going to be completely invisible. Also, if you have problems with wavy zipper, my solution to that is make sure that your stitch setting is slightly longer than usual. So I sew on 2.6, but I will put the zipper on 2.8. For some reason, it just worked. It doesn't create that wavy finish at the back. When you know, you know. And then I close it up and look at this. The seams match perfectly. Now it's time to deal with the back seam. I match the right sides of the fabrics and stitch as close to the zipper end as possible all the way to the hemline. Then I stitch the zipper end and I will trim off the excess. Next, it's time to finish the lining. I open up the zipper, then fold out the lining, matching the right sides of the fabrics, making sure that the top edge is nice and flat. Then I am going to pin it in place. I am going to be sewing as close to the zipper tape as possible. If you're not adding lining to your dresses, you are missing out. It is super easy and it makes your garment looks super professional and it feels comfortable. After that, I turn it out, and if you want to, you can trim off the back corners, but I didn't do that just because the fabric is not that bulky. But if you need to, you can trim it off. And look how gorgeous that is. Looks professional and clean. The zipper tape is totally enclosed. Now it's time to sew the back seam of the lining and then hem it if you want to. I will also hem the dress, serge it first and fold it once and stitch all the way around. This is what the back look like. It is perfection. I absolutely love it. Dress reveal in 3, 2, 1. I love how simple this dress is and making the fabric the main statement.
That is it for today, and thanks so much for watching. If you like this video and if you would like to see more, don't forget to give this thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new sewing videos every week. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!